Hello and welcome to another CAD clip on AutoCAD 2007 3D. I'm using a shift middle mouse button looking around. In this lesson we're going to talk about polysolids, which is a new object type, and I'm going to start by going up to the top and picking Tools, Palettes, Dashboard, and then I can have my dashboard in or out. In our last lesson we talked about the section plane. Now we're going to talk about the polysolid command. Really easy stuff, and if you want you can just pick on polysolid and you can just start to draw. You can use your ortho, etc. Okay, polysolid just kind of draws walls, okay, in its natural state. Once you have that, you'll notice that the start you have some special grips. First of all, you can grip on here and you can stretch that this way. Okay, this one will stretch this way, and then we can stretch using good old grips that way. The other thing is at the beginning of that polysolid we can grab grips and we can stretch these out, and that changes the whole object. I also have ground shadows turned on here. Let me just turn that off. I'm going to go into here for a second, my visual styles, and in my conceptual I'm going to go down to shadows here. Ground shadows, which is right there. Display ground shadows off. Thank you. Now the other thing is we can click back on here and I can grab this grip and I can stretch that out. Okay, and that was just drawn again by clicking on our polysolid command, and then off I go. Okay, the default heights and widths, and the other thing is if you hit escape like I just did, it stops. So unlike some other commands, escape stops it. In this you have to hit enter or a space bar. Okay, if you hit escape it'll just stop right there. Okay, now so that's one way of doing it. Now as you draw your polysolid, look at your command line down here. Okay, it says object, which we're going to do, height, width, and justify. So if we say height right away and say height, we can either type in a number or we can pick points. I can say, well, I want it to be this high. And now I'm going to say W for width. Well, I want it to be this wide. And then if I start to draw, I can use that height and width. Okay, and I keep hitting escape on that, and I shouldn't. Enter. Okay, so that's, and then again, same thing with my grips. Up and down, do whatever I want with it. Isn't that fantastic? Use your ortho or not. Okay, you can start to very quickly, as you can see, shift middle mouse, get some interesting shapes off of that right off the bat. Okay, polysolid. Okay, or we can just do object. Maybe I have a polyline over here. I'm going to draw a regular old AutoCAD polyline. I'm going to click on here and I'm going to hit enter and pick this, and it just converts it. After I do that, it remembered the last width and height, and then I can grip on these and do whatever I want with them. Okay, after I do something like that, if I want to draw something off of that face, okay, I can draw a cylinder. As long as my dynamic UCS is on, I can draw off of that cylinder. Okay, so you can see how something very quickly, maybe draw a pyramid using my dynamic UCS and my ortho type thing, click, place that right on top of that surface. Shift middle mouse button. Okay, do an erase, erase these objects. Okay, I can go back to my top view. Okay, that's what these are. This is a polyline that's been fit curved. Okay, I could change this back to be, 3D wireframe. This was a polyline, this was a circle, and this is something I made. I think this was just a line. So let's try that. Okay, I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to draw a polyline. I'm going to draw another polyline over here. I'm going to draw a circle in here. I'm going to pick on my polysolid and I can set my widths and heights beforehand. Okay, width, well, I only want it to be, this wide. How high do I want it to be? H for height, command line. Well, I want it to be about this high. And then I just hit enter and pick on this object and it converts it. We could have said justification as well. Enter, start my command. Okay, I can say J for justify. Okay, left, center, or right. Center is fine. And then enter is an object. Pick on here and I'm done. Okay, enter, enter, pick, enter, enter. Oh, I want to spline this. PE for polyline edit. Pick on here. And then we'll do a spline. Enter. Pick on that spline. Maybe grab my NURBS. Do what I want with that. Start my polysolid. Enter. Pick. Converts it. Go to my 3D view and there's my 3D objects. Okay. There's the circle. Okay. The circle, I can grab this grip and I can stretch this in. I can stretch that one in. Okay. That's how I got that shape. This one over here, same old stuff. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Okay, grab this guy. That was just a line. Nothing fancy there. Click on here. Drag up, drag over. Okay. If you go back to the point, you'll notice that you can change directions by using your UCS. And then this guy over here. What can we do with that grip? Turn my ortho off. You see my ortho is causing problems. Look at that. That's pretty slick. Okay, go to my view over here. Okay, and then of course all I did was go down here. Color faces. Pick on here. Enter. Pick a colored face. Hit OK. Color face here. Enter. Pick a color. Hit OK. Go around and color the faces. So polysolid, read your command line. You can use existing geometry. You can justify it. You can set the width and height, or you can just start to draw, depending on, you know, maybe you want to draw even on the, I wonder if you can go on the top of this surface here. Shift middle mouse button here. Let's do our polysolid and let's hover over here. Look at that. I can act, oh, I hit my snap on that, but I can take my snap off maybe. I probably want to move my origin, UCS, origin to that point. That might help me be able to draw in here. Go in that direction and type 5. And then go up and type in the number 2. Enter. So I drew that polysolid right on the surface of that is all I wanted to explain by using my dynamic UCS. Okay, oh, there's a pyramid up in the air, right? No problem. We can go M for move, pick that, grab that endpoint, move it down to there. Now that it's down there, and we can take that, of course, we can move that around. Oh, now let's see where that is. Oh, I got everything kind of skewed on an angle here. Let me just get rid of that. So my point being is that you can take these and you can move these objects around, and as they interfere with each other, you will see them displace. So there's our polysolid command. Have a look at your command line, convert existing geometry lines. I would go in and maybe try some more of these shapes. Very quickly, it'd be easy to go in and, you know, make a rectangle. Oh, let's do UCS world. That's probably my problem. Make a rectangle box, pick on my polysolid, enter, pick on here, and you're done. Then you can use your stretch command, instant walls, I guess you could say at least, and then go in and have a look with your grips and have some fun with them. They're not hard to use.